there, welcome back. This is the final video of this week. This is two Italian crime films. The first one is Milano Calibro 9 and the other one is Wake Up and Kill. Now these are obviously both are from Arrow, both released by Arrow, both are from the 70s in Italy. Milano Calibro 9 was made by the director, whose name I can't, Fernando De Leo. He started out with Sergio Leone and wrote the first two of the Dollars trilogy, or was one of the writers involved, and went on to write some other films and then moved into direction. So this was a part of a trilogy. And the second one was an Italian connection. There was a third one whose name El Boss or something. So he made, these were like gritty crime movies in Italy. He moved on and he kept working in the 70s, and then I think in the 80s his career kind of collapsed. His last film was apparently not a good film and was very glossy and very unlike the films like this. So this Milano Calibro takes place in Milan, and so this guy gets out of jail and everyone thinks he stole some money, and when he comes out of jail he claims he didn't steal it, that someone else stole it, even set up. So the first third of the movie is the criminals who think he stole the money are beating him up and working on him and trying to get him to give up where the money is, and he said, "No, I've been set up. It's one of you people did it, and you set me up and you sent me to jail." And because he got caught for a robbery he did. Apparently, in everyone's view was he did it to get in jail to avoid the payback for this robbery of them, of the mafia. And he said, "No, that's not what happened." And as it goes on, he starts to come back into the, he's forced to come back into the gang, because the boss, the Americano, who's like, who moves money around a lot, he's sort of saying, okay, he's not going to say where it is, we don't know if he stole it or not, but we think he did, but we're going to make him work for us. So he starts working for them, and through different things, and as a couple of things start to go wrong, he starts to say, look, it's obvious here that one of you are traitors because these other things are going wrong, and I didn't know about them because I was just brought in the last minute, so one of you is trying to set me up, and it's now obvious one of you is setting me up. And the whole film is about just the criminal enterprise. So that's basically, I'm not going to give away what happens after this element. I mean, there's lots of interaction he has with different people he knew from criminal life before, and how he interacts with them. So you see him interacting with lots of different people, but there's lots of interactions that are very important. But I don't want to give away. I think I've told enough of what the general idea of the film is. It was like, he's trying to prove that one of them is a traitor, and he's saying, I've been set up. And it's very dicey because there's a sense of paranoia throughout this film. It's like, he could get whacked at any second. They're all out to get him. Everyone's out to get him. Everyone thinks he did it. It's like, you did it, we know you did it. And he said, no, I didn't do it. There's one of these people have been, obviously you're all criminals, but one of these are getting greedy now. And that was the obvious opportunity person to set up. So it becomes this weird tension between someone saying, I'm innocent, and other people saying, no, we know you're guilty. And there's lots of wonderful sequences throughout the build-up of them trying to get him to break and him maintaining his innocence. And also, when he starts working with them, there's lots of wonderful moments of just paranoia. And what it's about actually is, it's not the plot, it's about the idea of the Italian criminal life. In the 70s has been just paranoid, and no one trusts anyone really. People will help each other a little bit, but not much. Everyone feels like the betrayal's round the corner, and it's this sense of paranoia. People destroy each other for small gains because they think that small gain will help them later on, and it's just this sense of that what should be a big macho crime community taking over the city has become this paranoid mess of people who are watching each other rather than watching anything else, and most of the action seems to be against each other rather than making money. They're just so focused on who's the mole, who's the person who's been betraying them, why did it happen, do I trust this person trusts me, or everyone's watching out thinking, am I getting set up for this or what? And it's just this wonderful sense of paranoia throughout the film. And the leading man's so good because he's so gruff, he barely says anything, he'd take a hit, but he can also give a really nasty glare, knowing that if he really wants to, you're in real trouble. And there's just a sense of malice there as well, like he's biding his time, he's waiting for his chance to get revenge. So it creates this, it is very much, it feels very influenced by Get Carter. It feels like the people who made this watch Get Carter and really learned from it and said, okay, this is the way we're going to go. This is the direction to go, is like paranoid gangsters. People are going to kill each other for almost nothing. This is what's interesting in the gangster world now. So it's much less like The Godfather, it's more like Get Carter. Just this whole sense of encroaching paranoia, encroaching nastiness as things get more and more out of control. And you also get this subplot of the cops who are hunting down the Americano and all those gang lords. And they're trying to get the lead character to inform. Because they think, well, they hate you anyway, you might as well make some money at it. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. And you see the interaction between the police, and it's just as paranoid and political as anything in the gangster world is. People are taking each other out politically, and the police just to make sure their view of how the police gets through. And the turns out they're useless, they don't do anything, they're utterly useless, but they're just deadly because they can destroy lives really quickly, and they can just do untold damage. And it is pointing out how out of control and how corrupt the police were at the time, and also how out of control the gangsters were. I mean, they're feeding off each other. It's like they're paranoid of the gangsters are paranoid of them, and everyone's like overreacting and doing really dumb stuff, and it feeds in itself, and there's no one to put the brakes on and say, look, just stop this and just try and do your job, or try and focus on making money if you're a gangster. It just becomes this paranoid loop they're all in. So that's Milano Calibro. Yeah, I'm not talking about the second half of the movie. Things happen I don't want to discuss. I think you should see it for yourself, because some things that happened I didn't see coming, so I don't want to there's some characters I haven't talked about at all yet. I think you should just discover for yourself and see where it goes. But it is worth it, because it is very much a condemnation of greed, and like greed to get ahead a few steps. It just becomes all about that. Speaking of greed for a few steps, Wake Up and Kill. Now this is from Carlo Lazzani, who also did Requisite. This is a misnomer of a poster and a title, because it shows him with a gun as if he's really macho, and he's not. And Wake Up and Kill is a misnomer because he doesn't kill anybody. He's known as a smash and grab robber. He basically grabs stuff, smashes through the windows, grabs the stuff and gets away quick. It's only the second half of the movie, even if he gets a gun, a proper gun. The first half of the movie, he steals a gun, and then the police catch up to him and he escapes, but he loses his gun because they find the guns. So that's how close he gets to the gun in the first half of the movie. He's just not good at that. It's based on a true case, and it's a true crime story, and it's about this guy who is a small time crook, and he's trying to impress this singer woman he really likes, and he wants to show her the high life and show her how good things can be. So he starts to do run basically smash and grab robberies, and he starts to get a reputation. People start to finger him for all these robberies, and then things spin out of control. because he's too proud and too stupid, because this guy's really stupid, to give himself up and take a short, you know, time the slammer, get back out and go on with his life. Because at this point his father, who ran the shop he worked at, would forgive him and he'd have a job when he get back out, but he can't stand being a normal person. He has to be important as a criminal, even though he's doesn't have the skill set, he hasn't trained. And he drags his wife into it, and she does not want anything to do with him. But he drags her in, he seduces her into, I'm going to stop at a certain time. And she believes him, and she keeps believing him even though he's obviously never going to live up to any of his claims. And then by the time she realises that, she's so far in, he's so well known that there's no escape. And the police are starting to hunt him down. So to keep moving on, he has to get involved, because he's now on the run and he has to keep finding places to live, and he keeps getting charged to live in places at an extortionate price, because they don't know who he is. He has to keep on robbing and doing bigger robberies just to be able to hide. And he just gets out and out, spins out and out of control. He starts to end with bigger gangsters who start to realise he's a good patsy for them, so they do the crimes he plans and then sets him up as the guy who planned them. And the cops see through that, and they keep letting him escape at that point, so he'll get worse and worse in with these gangsters, and hopefully it'll spin out of control and the main gangsters will get caught. So everyone starts using his idiot for their own means, the cops, the other gangsters, and he just keeps thinking he's been really clever, when in fact the cops are letting him away, and he's half killed himself just to keep ahead. And he's just so exhausted by doing that. He can never really get ahead, but he's always going for the next score. The next score will do it for me. I'll be able to hide after that. No matter where he goes, he doesn't have any skills, so he has to keep stealing. So basically he's useless, and he's basically used by everybody, so he can't really get away. And he doesn't understand he can't get away. He just becomes this force of nature that keeps going after the next big score, which is really a small score once it pays off all of the debts and all his outgoings. So he can never really get ahead. Any big score becomes a small score. Any place he goes from Italy to Paris to Holland, then back and forward, and he keeps getting in trouble everywhere he goes, and the police are all flocking round to catch him. And it's like a tragedy, but the guy's so stupid and so self-involved and so ruins other people's lives that you don't really feel sorry for him. It's just an interesting subject matter of, this is what life of crime actually is. Life of crime is, if you're not careful, there's no escape. People will just use you. And basically he can never get anywhere because he's not part of the crime syndicates in any place. So he hasn't worked his way up in the crime syndicates because he's so impulsive. They all see him as crazy. So no one's ever going to vouch for him or give. So whenever he sells any of his merchandise, he always has to take a lot less for it than he should. So it is a study of crime and how crime can ruin someone, and how stupidity can lead to a lot of problems and criminal behaviour. Like, a lot of criminals aren't very bright. A lot of people he meets and works with aren't that bright. They're just trying to get by, and he's just kind of dumb. And he ruins his wife's life. She's a singer. He ruins her chances getting gigs because she's married to him, because he keeps on interrupting her gigs, and basically she becomes tainted goods because of him. And he just ruins everybody's life. He's just a waste of space. But it's wonderful just watching this sort of realistic view of crime. Like, it's not glamorised like The Sopranos or The Godfather, but it's like, this is what a petty criminal actually is. He's self-destructive, he'll get caught, he'll ruin other people's lives, cause a lot of pain. And this one, this guy becomes like one of the big names. So it's just like this problem been shown at its most extreme, at its most dumb, it's the dumbest possible way, just showing how bad the situation can get. But it's kind of like an elaboration on what an actual life of crime is, which is paranoia, fear, not knowing where to stop, no way out, and it's just leading to jail or death. That's it. So it's a wonderful film. It starts slow though. I mean, the first 10-15 minutes he meets his wife is a bit slow, takes a while because he's not a sympathetic character and he is kind of dumb even from the start. So it takes a little while to warm to the situation when you realise, no, you're not meant to like him. Like, at all. You're not meant to like anything. His wife, you don't need to like either. She's not most sympathetic, but she does look like a 70s Italian actress, which means she's just so much makeup on, it's like very distracting. But you're not meant to like them, you're just meant to be interested in them. And that's what's fascinating with the film. They're interesting in their flaws and how they can't escape those basic stuff. And how he would never listen to her, and she always thinks she can make him listen. He never can because he's not smart. He's just impulsive. He just needs to go for the next score to keep going, and he doesn't really have a clue where he's going, he just wants to keep moving. And he's drinking too much, and he's just feeling he needs to drink his way out of thinking too much about the situation. So he's just he's just horrible. But it's a wonderful film though. I'd highly recommend the film just to watch the criminal life at its most pathetic and extreme. So it's highly recommended. Both films are highly recommended. I feel I'm going to go on an Italian crime bender pretty soon because these two are so good. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be back next week with some more videos.